Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Good to have you here as always. So this week, more metal. Yeah, because you can never have too much metal, right? And you guys love the top 8 metal movies that I did last week. So I thought I'd continue that on and do the top 8 metal documentaries. Yeah, because there are so many good documentaries out there. You know, it's hard to even just whittle it down to 8. And these include biographies and just a tale of metal and different genres. And instead of me actually doing this list according to my favorites, these are ranked according to popularity from you guys and the internet and everyone else. Yeah, because I just couldn't pick a number one. There's just too many good ones out there. But let's get into it. And as always, grab yourself your coffee, your drink, your soda, your popcorn, or your Jack and Coke. Cheers, Lemmy. And hey, if you want to support me, as always, you can buy me a coffee. All the links are in the description below. But let's get into it. Top 8 metal documentaries. All right, so starting off the list at number 8 is actually a band documentary. And it's one of my favorites. I had this on VHS for the longest time, and I think I actually wore it out. This is Iron Maiden's 12 Wasted Years. So this is a documentary about one of the pioneers of the new wave of British heavy metal, Iron Maiden. If you don't know who they are, you're probably not a metalhead, but hey, that's okay. Iron Maiden are one of the legends of British heavy metal. And this documentary, 12 Wasted Years, was made in 1987. The band had been together for 12 years, and it shows their early years. It has a lot of interviews. It talks about their origins and how they started, and shows some of their early performances, and it has a lot of interviews with people behind the scenes, and the band members, and it shows a lot of their concert gigs. Look, it's a fantastic documentary. Iron Maiden have done many since this one, but this one is one of my favorites, so check it out. Number 8 on the list, Iron Maiden, 12 Wasted Years. Coming in at number 7, it's not really a documentary as such, but it's more reality.
Judas Priest explode into the Capitol Center this Saturday.
This is Heavy Metal Parking Lot. Now, this was basically a short film shot in the parking lot at a Judas Priest concert in the 80s. This is hilarious, and this isn't about the music, it's about the fans. This shows you what the fans were like in the 80s. Judas Priest in America in the mid to late 80s were huge. They were massive. They really made their name in America. And this just shows what their fans are like. And it's cool, it's hilarious, and it gives you a glimpse into that time, into the 80s and what metal was like back then. So check it out if you want to have a good laugh. I do believe this is on YouTube. Heavy Metal Parking Lot at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is a world favorite. Well, global metal. Yeah, this is a documentary made in 2008 by filmmaker Sam Dunn, who has made many metal documentaries. This one focuses mainly on metal's spread around the world, how it became widespread, and how it actually spread to a lot of countries where it's considered rebellious, a lot of countries like India and Asia, but he also explores its influence around the world, and he showcases a lot of foreign bands in all these different countries where you wouldn't expect metal to be. But Global Metal, great documentary for anyone who wants to explore the history of heavy metal. Go check it out. Alrighty, so banging our way down the list onto number 5. Now this one for me, oh yeah, this gets me going. Get Thrashed, the story of thrash metal. Now,
the heavy metal, thrash metal scene was always a family, and it still is, and it's basically our religion, so whether you like it or not, just accept it, because thrash metal is still alive.
I am a huge thrash metal fan. I started listening to Megadeth and Anthrax in the 80s. Absolutely love them. Die-hard Megadeth fan. So I'm not a Metallica fan, sorry. But This tells the story of thrash metal from its beginning, its roots, and it has an incredible interview with members of so many different thrash bands. Really blew me away when I saw this. It gives you such a great insight into what thrash really is. And the 8 years that thrash was really popular, it really shaped heavy metal. It changed everything. You know, when metal kind of went through its grunge phase and started to die off, there was still thrash keeping metal alive. So go check this movie out. Even if you're not a fan of thrash, you will be once you watch this one. Get Thrashed, the story of thrash metal. Alrighty, so here we go, windmilling our way down to number 4 on the list. Is VH1's The Story of Metal. This was actually a multi-part series which showcases heavy metal all throughout its years, from its early days in the 60s and 70s, before it was even heavy metal. I watched these many times over the years, and you know, I have my favorites. They're all in different episodes, so you can pick and choose what you watch. I do recommend watching the entire series. They are fantastic. VH1 were really good with, you know, putting a lot of these stories out there. I remember behind the albums and all that kind of stuff that they used to do. I used to love them. VH1 Story of Metal, it's a really good kind of, you know, timeline of heavy metal and the history. And it just has so many good interviews with different metal musicians and, of course, the music. So much good metal music on these ones. That's why they're at number 4, according to you and the internet. But VH1 Story of Metal, well worth checking out. Alrighty, here we go. True metal fans will know this one. Coming in at number 3, the man, the myth, the legend, Lemmy.
Well, the basic difference is that most bass players sound like this, whereas I sound quite different.
Now, this is a 2000 documentary which really goes in depth into Lemmy's life. Lemmy Kilmister, the legendary lead singer of the band Motorhead. If you don't know who Lemmy is, if you don't know Motorhead, then you're about to. Go check this documentary out and you will definitely find out who this man was. Lemmy was one of the most influential characters in heavy metal history. He was one of the pioneers, the new wave of British heavy metal. He was just absolutely a larger-than-life character. He's a legend. I had the honor of meeting Lemmy in 1999 in LA. A brief meeting, got to say hi and, you know, have a quick chat to him. He's a fantastic guy, and that has always stayed with me. This documentary is wicked because it gives you a good glimpse into his life, like his daily routines, and it has many interviews with people in his life, including his son. It's definitely one of my favorite documentaries because Motorhead has done many documentaries. Lemmy has done a couple, but this one is just about him and his life and his entire journey. So, Motorhead fan or not, gotta go check this out. Number 3 on the list, Lemmy. Rest in peace, Lem. All right, now we're getting into it. Grab your hairspray, grab your leather, and let's head down to Sunset Strip for number 2, Decline of the Western Civilization, Part 2, The Metal Years. This one is legendary. This was filmed in the 80s and 90s and focuses mainly on hair metal and heavy metal and how it was growing and changing. Some of these interviews on Decline are absolutely hilarious, including Chris Holmes from Wasp, absolutely wasted in a pool. And there's all these interviews with members of KISS, with a scantily clad woman, including Ace Frehley in a bed with quite a few women in lingerie. It's actually a follow-up from Decline of Western Civilization, which talks about punk. And part 2 is about metal and its influence and how it was all changing. And it has great interviews with very young Dave Mustaine in the early days of Megadeth, because this is when they started. But Decline of the Western Civilization really focuses on glam and how big it actually got before it ultimately met its downfall. Yeah, glam didn't last forever, unfortunately. But go check out Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years. Number 1 on the list, top metal documentaries, is A Headbanger's Journey. Now, this is an incredible documentary made by Sam Dunn, who's a filmmaker, an anthropologist, and an avid metalhead. He also made Global Metal, which was also on the list, but this was his first one, and this really looks at the history of heavy metal, looks at how it spread around the world, it's how it affected different cultures, and of course he looks at the controversy around heavy metal, especially in the early days, and some of the most amazing interviews with some of the biggest legends of heavy metal, including Ronnie James Dio. And Headbanger's Journey is one of the best research documentaries around. It is so informative and it's so well presented. Sam has done an amazing job of this, which of course led him to make so many other metal documentaries, which you can actually find most of these on YouTube. So there you go, number 1 on the list, A Headbanger's Journey. I'm sure all of you knew it was going to be at number 1. So there you go, top 8 metal documentaries according to popularity. To you guys, instead of me this time. That's it for another top 8 list. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that one as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it, especially all the new metalheads. I love having you guys around. Metal forever. If you want to keep supporting me so I can keep making these videos, many different ways you can do it. Coffees, obviously, merchandise, membership. You can sign up for membership on this channel, also Patreon and all that good stuff. All the links are in the description below. As always, if you give this video a big like, subscribe down below, and hit that little bell to get notified. It'll be metal as fuck. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Sunday for another awesome video. Peace out, love and light, and metal forever.